Is Wagner making advances in Bakhmut? But could it just lead to their own demise? I'm Paul, U.S. Army combat veteran. It's May 20th, 2023. This is your daily Ukraine update. Let's get into it. But first, of course, as always, guys, you know, if you were on the live stream that I have launched, of course, my own site, combatvetnews.com, all the news stories that I can't get to in these daily updates, all my YouTube videos on here for free. But if you want to support what I do, keep me independent, you want to become a member. Any one of these tiers is going to get you access to the exclusive room on the Discord, and more importantly, the members only content. Just yesterday, we took a look at some of the craziest footage coming out of Bakhmut. I literally don't think I can describe it to you without getting demonetized, but rest assured, it's some of the viral moments from the week. If you want to support what I do, that's the best way to do it. Okay, let's talk about the front lines. First off, when we take a look down here, you can see that Russian forces have pushed in Bakhmut and basically are imminently capturing and have an imminent capture of the city. There's this small holdout right here in the corner outside of Avansky, but that's really it. Now, this is what's sort of interesting to me. I understand that Russia is surging and they really want to be able to plant a flag and say they've captured Bakhmut. It's important for propaganda purposes. Functionally, the city of Bakhmut has been controlled by the Russians for several weeks. But here's the thing. If you notice that one of the problems, as we've talked about, if you look to the south here, you can see exactly what I'm going to illustrate, right? As Ukraine has advanced, right, you see that they've advanced and put pressure on the sides. So even though this forested area is very defensible and very easily dug in, because these flanks are collapsing, Russia finds itself forced to withdraw from these regions. And when you have this happening to your north and to your south, Russia is surging forward, sure, but they have to know they're going to be forced to retreat unless their flanks can be stabilized very quickly, which, to be clear, does not appear to be happening. So you have this surge to the top and bottom, and I suspect that these forces are going to be forced to withdraw probably across the Bakhmutka as Ukrainian forces threaten to cross the Bakhmutka themselves and encircle the city. That's what I suspect this is going. But again, Russia is putting a lot of its very limited manpower into achieving a symbolic victory. While every army is sort of subject to political concerns, this is a really bad use of your troops this late in the game. These troops need to be on the defensive. They need to be stabilizing the increasingly collapsing flanks. They do not need to be transitioning to continue to take Bakhmut. It's bananas. It's almost irrational to surge, to put yourself into a trap by pushing the center as your flanks are collapsing. It's like a trope. It's something from a movie of like a deluded idiot king, who believes his victory is imminent even as his flanks are falling apart. So that's what we're seeing here, I'd say. The other interesting note is that, again, Russia limited combat power and is pushing in Krasnohorivka, but again, you see what they're taking here. They're surging to take, I guess, this rail line, this part of a rail line. It's just very low value stuff, and it's not clear that there's any good reason to be devoting, again, your very limited combat power, which is being pressed very hard, and you're spending it trying to take more territory. It doesn't make any sense at all. But now, what I also want to point out is that the Russian Ministry of Defense has acknowledged what we have talked about yesterday. First, of course, that we have the Russia, right, has committed up to several battalions to reinforce Bakhmut, and it has few uncommitted combat units in Ukraine. So this is what it's calling a notable commitment by Russian command. And Russia's leadership, right, continues to see capturing Bakhmut as an immediate war aim to claim some success. So again, me and the UK, MI5 or MI6, in sort of agreement on this one, that Russia pushing the center to achieve political gains, committing its very, very limited reserves to stabilizing Bakhmut. And I really think as they lock that in, you're going to start to see Ukraine open up another axis of advance elsewhere. What's also interesting and worth pointing out is that Russia actually launched 80 combat engagements yesterday, nearly doubling the total amount of offensive work that they are undertaking. And what's even more interesting is that they're pushing really hard in Avdiivka, of all places. Only two locations were having attacks in Bakhmut, though obviously there was considerable success with this attack here. Again, a sign that I think Russia's economy of force doesn't really make a lot of sense, right? Why they have forces committed to this significant offensive effort outside of Donetsk, even as they struggle to stabilize their lines in Bakhmut, just it doesn't make any sense to me. But again, for Ukraine, it's all probably good news. Anyway, that's all I had, guys. Of course, be sure to check out combatvetnews.com. Link is in the description, and I will see you guys in the next one.